Ben has unlocked a key in AJ's head to say, this is what you can do. Believe in what you can do. And for some reason, AJ believed.
Boxing fans here with Johnny Nelson. Johnny, first of all, how are you? How's things?
I'm good, man. And we got back from Dubai on Tuesday, Monday night. So this Saturday, went to see my daughter in Dubai, and then back home again. So it's back on the road, baby. Back on the road.
How's fasting going? I know sort of you're in the midst of it, and there's also a big one that you're doing soon. Talk to me about it, man.
Well, I'm doing Ramadan, and then I'm doing the 8 to 6 hour fast the 1st of April. I'm going to get a nation of you to follow me doing that. So. And listen, even before Ramadan, I was still doing it every 36 hours, once a week, has to be done. So it's just encouraging people to see the benefits of it. It's just that. It's that more than anything else. But health-wise, you know, again, do your research, check it out, find out how beneficial it is. And I think more and more people are starting to get the message.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Let's talk about why we're here. Lauren Price in her 7th professional fight, going to be fighting Jessica McCaskill for unified titles. Big fight this for her, and big fight this for female boxing. Just talk to me about this one, man.
Good fight. It's a good fight. I think it's a tall order for Lauren. But Lauren, she wants to challenge. You know, it's a 7th professional fight, going in there with an accomplished champion. And Jessica herself said, I was in your position when I boxed Katie Taylor. You know, so, and spoke to her earlier on. She said, I understand where her mind's at. I understand what she's saying. And she spoke respectfully of Lauren when she was up there, but she also spoke in a smart way. It was kind of what Klitschko did with AJ. You know, they were very familiar with each other before, and Klitschko was basically saying, look, you'll do well, you'll be all right, this ain't your time yet, but you'll be a champion. So it's like a backhanded compliment, but basically saying, but you won't beat me. And Jessica was doing that up there. She was saying, look, she's a good fighter, she'll do really well, she won't do it this time, but, you know, she's bigging her up, but basically talking to her like, I'm the master, you're the pupil. And when we're in and those little things make a big difference when you get in the ring, when you're fighting. The rest is history. What AJ did. And I think the way Lauren is, I don't think that kind of penny will drop harder. I don't think that will work for her. I think when the bell goes, listen, she'll just switch over.
How different is it? We know about amateur pedigree. We know what she did in the Olympics, but how different is the professional ranks? She might have faced every style when she was coming up and going through the rankings and the world rankings in the amateur side, but how different is it when she steps onto this side?
What suits her down to the ground is the fact that she's used to high pressure sport, football, MMA, you know, boxing. So she's used to dealing with the nerves. The nerves is everything. If you don't know how to deal with nerves, no matter what you go into, then it gets the better of you. So she's used to high pressure, she's used to having to deal with nerves. So I don't think nerves are going to be the issue. She understands how to negate that, control that. The only thing she'll be lacking is experience. So she's got to then work on put all her experiences from everything else into a box, from the football to from mixed martial arts now to the boxing. She's got to use her strength, she's got to use her wit, she's got to use her drive, she's got to use her desire. And that's why she's been successful in most sports up to this point here. Yes, it's a tall order. Of course, it's a tall order. Yes, the favourite, you would say McCaskill is a favourite. Lauren, you know, she wants to. She was getting at the stage now in her career. She'd not lost a professional round. She's getting frustrated because she wants the fights to be there. McCaskill wants the same kind of stuff. So Lauren says I'm a good boxer, but she's also a good fighter. McCaskill's a good fighter, but she's also a good boxer. So I think these styles will gel perfectly together. McCaskill has all the skill in the world, and she's going to go out there and try and boss her because McCaskill can fight. So with Lauren, we know she's good. We just don't know how good she is. So I think this fight will tell us how good she is. And in reality, the pressure's on McCaskill, not Lauren. If she loses, it's not the end of it. It's too early. You'll come again. So where's McCaskill? If she lost to someone that's had 6 fights coming through, she's seriously got to look at her career and thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be a hard fight for both fighters, no matter what.
I was going to say, timing everything in regards to this fight. Is this the right time to catch Jessica McCaskill? We know what happened a couple of fights ago against Sandy Ryan and Sandy, and I think a lot of boxing fans believed at the time that Sandy won that fight, that maybe the time is right for Ryan.
I think that might be behind this fight happening. I think that Sandy Ryan fight is behind it. So timing is everything, and it's a gamble.
Let's move on. Let's quickly talk about the aftermath of what happened in Riyadh. You were there. You witnessed Anthony Joshua with a brutal knockout. I spoke to you afterwards, a couple of days after since this happened. It's gone viral, that big knockout. A lot of AJ seems to be number one trending everywhere. Everyone seems to love him again. It's just a cycle of boxing, isn't it?
You know what? So let's look on the performance. Performance should have happened. Yeah. I didn't think AJ would knock him out. That's the truth. But I thought it should be day and night. AJ's boxing skill, ability, his experience, former heavyweight champion twice. The world champions he's boxed, stuff he's done in the Olympics. That should have always happened. This is what Fury should have done. So AJ said, this is how it's done. In our sport, there's no way anybody can come from any sport. You can't play boxing and try and topple someone that's around the top tier of boxing. And I said, if there's any fighter in the top 10 that struggles with Ngannou, they need to be having a word with themselves. Fury made a mistake. We all made a mistake. We looked at Ngannou and didn't give him the respect that we should have given him. Fury was the one that was in there fighting him. The thing is, even though he said he was prepared, even though he went in there, probably 40% of the person he was, he still won. It's questionable. But then what does that tell us about Fury, where he is in his career? Anthony Joshua had hindsight of what happened to Fury to think, I'm going to do everything right, doing everything right. That is the result we got. Now, I gave Ben Davison hell. I said, well, how's he qualified to have a Porsche? How's he qualified to be in this position? I get it now. Ben Davison wasn't adding to the artillery of the physical artillery of AJ. It was a mental artillery of AJ, for him to believe in what he can do, because he didn't throw any shots or anything that we'd not seen before. He just threw shots that we knew he had, but he just didn't let them go. So it's like Ben has unlocked a key in AJ's head to say, this is what you can do. Believe in what you can do. And for some reason, AJ believes. He's like, oh, I see that now. The penny's dropped. And it might be an accumulation of a few things: the backlash he's had from the public, the losses to Ruiz and Usyk. So he's thinking, where else can I go? I've just got to believe this guy and believe myself. So Ben's got him to believe in what he's doing. That's what I'm talking about. You saw this man go in there and let the shots go. And so a fighter of AJ's caliber, if he does everything right, that is the result you should get, and that's how it should be. And I'll say that and I've said that well before this. This is day and night. It should happen. For Ngannou, I think Ngannou, it was a rude awakening to know what boxing's about. Now I understand if Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua went in the octagon, the same thing would happen to them, the other way around. But you've got to give Ngannou respect for actually having the courage to come into our sport and do what he did. He just had a false sense of reality because of Fury's performance. That's all. But so I think AJ did an amazing job. I didn't expect the knockout. He did that and more. And good on him. Now I look at the fighters and look at and it's well logged. When I asked who'd win between Fury and Joshua, first I said Joshua, and then Joshua's performance started to taper out. Then I said Fury. Fury's got the momentum going here. Now Joshua's popped back up there again, because you're looking at the last couple of this fight here, and you're looking at Anthony Joshua's last fight, and you look at Fury's last fight. Now I know the caliber of the opponent's the same. The caliber of the opponent, it wasn't about the caliber of the opponent, it's about the performance. So we're to believe Tyson Fury to say he had a great training camp, and he scraped through with Ngannou. I don't believe that, and then physically he didn't look like that, because you look at him now, looks in great condition. Anthony Joshua did his job. If you're going on past performances, you've got to say, Anthony Joshua, you go in there with that fire in your belly, that spite to let the shots go, you've got to lean towards Anthony Joshua as the more favoured one. Now, I saw someone where Spencer Brown said, I'm going to tell you a secret now, Tyson didn't sleep for 3 days before. That's a big own goal, man. You don't do that shit. You don't do that. There's many reasons why fighters have lost, but you don't all of a sudden say it afterwards, or get your mate to say afterwards, well, it was because of this. You keep that in-house. Now, Spencer Brown I don't know if he was trying to do a job in regards to protecting Tyson or doing him a favour. You're not doing him a favour. You need to keep that stuff in house. You never do that. Boxers don't do that. And when they don't do that, they look like crybabies. That's what it looks like. So Tyson's not said it, but his mate said it. So he looks like a crybaby. He only happened because he's not slept for 3 days. That's not Tyson. Spencer Brown shouldn't have done that. That stays in the house. So that's a lesson learned. But you know what? Spencer's in a job and he's learning on the job. But in regards to out there in Saudi itself, brilliant. I went out there. I thought, wow, this is like, come on, man. You've got all these fights there, and I mean, they're spoilt for choice. You've got these fights that can happen, and now we're finally getting these fights. It's because of what's happening in Saudi. We're getting the potential of these fights happening. Don't be surprised if AJ doesn't wait for May the 18th and then wait for months after that to fight Tyson Fury, because the 2 or 3 fights he's had in the last, I think it's 18 months or whatever it is, have helped him keep busy and helped him, feel fight confident. Don't be surprised if AJ ends up fighting a Hergovich or a Wilder before on the undercard. Don't be surprised if that happens, because I would be surprised if AJ chose to wait, to say I'm hanging about, because the chance of him and Fury boxing has come so close and fallen to the wayside. AJ's not going to put his career on hold waiting for this guy.
Can I ask you though, after the fight, Tyson said, listen, AJ's style's still made for me. I spoke to Spencer Oliver here. He said, maybe that's not the case. Tyson's a lot more open these days. He doesn't move his feet as much. So maybe that fight is a lot closer to what it was. Even maybe a Usyk rematch might be close if this is the AJ that we're seeing. Do you sort of agree with that? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because listen, the thing is this, Anthony Joshua, the frustration for the fans, and I'm trying to excuse the fans that probably, the fight fans that probably got sucking in thinking he's going to lose to Ngannou. The frustration for the fans is because Anthony Joshua says he's still learning on the job. He's like, so the fans want to entrust and say he can do this, but they don't, because he's performing under par. When he performs, you think, I'll put my house on you. And when he performs, you do it. But there's just been fights where the Franklin fight, you box, you think, what are you doing? You're boxing and sure, like you're not sure of what you're doing. That doesn't fill the fans with confidence to say you couldn't fight a Wilder 2 years ago like that. You couldn't fight Tyson Fury like that. So that's why the fans are so fickle in regards to, he's going to lose to Ngannou. Because so in a performance like that, then you think, you bring that shit to anybody, all right, I'll put my house on you. And you can't blame the fans, because that's how you're going to look at it. For Tyson Fury, even though he ill-prepared, apparently he'd not slept for 3 days, he still managed to scrape through. He looked bad doing it, his legs were all over the place, he's falling over him, but he still managed to scrape through on a bad day. So therefore, Tyson Fury, we want to see what Tyson Fury is on a good day. And I said his legs are gone. I only said that because, he's saying I had a great training camp, and I thought, I don't believe you, but if you want to tell people that means your legs are gone. That's what it's about, and he knows what that means. Anybody else around him knows what that means. So now this is the case of how these two will come about, how this fight will come about. An on-form Anthony Joshua like that, and an on-form Tyson Fury. That's where the argument is. The problem is about form. It's about getting them at the right time when they're both at their peak. And so looking at Tyson Fury's last fight, you can say, well, if him and Anthony Joshua box next, you think, well, he wasn't very good in the last fight. We want to see both guys in a position where you think, all right, they're on peak here. Now we've got a real last fight.
Final one before I let you go. Whilst talking about Tyson Fury, I do want to talk about the fight with Usyk now. We are getting close to that. Obviously, it's a week after this fight. Do you feel like, with everything that's gone on with maybe this AJ, the way that AJ's performed, the way Tyson's got an injury and everything else, that Tyson knows from inside that he probably needs to pick you up a little bit, put on a performance against Usyk? Or do you feel like that cut that he's got is an advantage Usyk?
Of course, he's got to pick up against Usyk. You looked at him physically in training camp. What you saw afterwards, he trimmed down. He looked better. Back fat had gone. This man looked like he trained, and so he took that seriously. He had to up his game, and he wants to put in a performance. If the fight does happen May the 18th, then Tyson Fury will box to the best of his ability, and we'll see what Tyson Fury's got left. If Tyson Fury is a fighter that's dominated the heavyweight division, so we'll see that. So we've got to wait and see, and that's the only way you can assess it.
You saw him actually. You saw that cut. You stood next to him. I'm sure when you were doing the sort of stuff out in Riyadh. What did it look like? It was all right to you? Did it look normally healed?
Well, I asked him, how's the cut holding up? And I've seen many fighters being cutting, and they get cut. That's how it is. You just got to believe in the process. When people say that he's cut himself, I laugh. I think, come on, man, who's gonna cut themselves? You've got to be a crackpot. But Tyson said about David Haye. Now he understands, thinking, I dropped the ball there. But no man's going to do that to himself. He just ain't going to do it. So it was a legitimate cut. But I just think the cut will be fine. It'll be fine. There's going to be scar tissue there. It's going to be fine. I can remember Ricky Hatton always used to get cut. I think he had to shave the bone down above the eye because he got cut. It was too sharp for him on the inside. But I don't think the cut's going to be an issue.
Cool. Johnny, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time as always, and I'll keep in touch. 1st of April we'll do that fast together. 86 hours, is it?
You make sure you stick it out. I don't want no rubbish excuses. 86 hours we're doing. 1st of April, 86 hours coming through. No excuses. I'm driving, I can't.
No, but listen, listen to me. I'm fasting anyway. I'm in the month of fasting regardless. So I'll be ready I'll be my prime, mate.
Okay, then we'll see. I don't want you tired. I can't.
Johnny Nelson, thank you, mate, so much.